Does Taylor Swift now have bad blood with Blake Lively? TMZ has learned that Taylor Swift feels she was used by Blake Lively in her war against Justin Baldoni, and she resents Blake calling her one of her dragons and leveraging her name.
Including Taylor Swift in the Blake Lively Justin Baldoni lawsuit is savage, strategic, and scary.
In the world of Hollywood and pop culture, drama never takes a day off. Recently, fans have called out Taylor Swift for her silence on certain controversies, sparking debates about whether the global superstar should speak up.
Blake Lively is in a legal battle of her life where half the public's on her side and half the public thinks she's the new Amber Heard, but to make things weirder, she's being warned by Taylor Swift. And Blake Lively had one of the most profitable movies of 2024 doing the movie It Ends With Us, which made $351 million on a budget of $25 million with Justin Baldoni, who was the director. The issue was Blake Lively had a terrible relationship with Justin Baldoni on set and refused all contact with him after they finished filming.
But somebody else who is very connected to this reached out and said, Candace, you're 90% there. You're just missing one thing. And I'm beginning to wonder, and listen, full speculation, no proof, for him to go that crazy, did something happen between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively? That's my question.
Meanwhile, actress Anna Kendrick made headlines after refusing to answer questions about her rumored feud with Blake Lively, adding more fuel to speculation about their relationship. As these stories unfold, social media is buzzing with theories, reactions, and heated discussions. But what's really going on behind the scenes? Let's break it down.
Justin Baldoni is suing Blake Lively, her husband, and Blake Lively's publicist.
If they could think of it, they're suing them for it, is what it sounds like to me.
And they used a lot of shady business, unethical, illegal ways to get their way, to steal his movie from him. Perhaps one of my favorite things was the many times Taylor Swift was mentioned in the Justin Baldoni lawsuit, because I know Taylor Swift is not happy about this.
The reason why I believe Justin Baldoni is because Taylor Swift hasn't defended Blake Lively publicly. You know, hey, it might have some weight. Have a listen.
To say this out loud because I haven't seen anybody else say it. Does nobody else think that Taylor Swift is the dead giveaway? That Taylor Swift is the reason that none of it makes any sense with Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni? Like, Blake Lively has to be lying about being sexually harassed. And the reason I say that is she couldn't even convince her best friend.
And by the way, other people like Umbrella Guy have said this is why she's doing this fishing expedition.
And for a while, the public did side with Justin Baldoni and hated Blake Lively with a resurfaced interview of her criticizing reporters' weight from years ago. It was claimed the reason they had a feud was because Blake Lively was upset that Justin Baldoni asked her about her weight because there was a scene he had to pick her up and he does have a serious back problem. Now things have hit a collision course with Blake Lively suing Justin Baldoni for sexual harassment. He sued her back for defamation at a claim of $250 million. Where Taylor Swift gets in the mix here is Justin Baldoni hired a PR firm run by Scooter Braun, who's Justin Bieber's former manager. Taylor Swift doesn't like Scooter Braun because he bought the rights to her music without giving her a chance to bid on it. And Taylor Swift accused Scooter Braun of doing a smear campaign against her and also releasing Kanye West. Taylor Swift warned Blake Lively that Scooter Braun's going to try to destroy her, and with that, I'm Charles Pearl. Subscribe to learn something.
According to insider sources, Swift is distancing herself to avoid further involvement in the escalating controversy, which has grown beyond expectations. An insider revealed that, for now, she is stepping back from Blake to prevent becoming even more entangled, as she already feels more involved than necessary. This suggests that Swift believes she has been drawn into the situation more than she's comfortable with, and is taking strategic steps to safeguard her public image.
Blake Lively has bragged about her big friendships in Hollywood, but it seems like she's losing her steam, and now she was just dropped by Taylor Swift. Blake Lively and Taylor Swift first became acquainted in 2015 when Blake Lively did an ad for L'Oreal and she mentioned Taylor Swift's song Bad Blood in the Instagram post. And because of that, a few months later, the two decided to meet in Australia while Taylor Swift was forming a concert and they formed a friendship there. In 2021, Taylor Swift decided to help out Blake Lively's career because she was trying to be a director, so she let her direct her music video, I Bet You Think About Me. Now that friendship's being put through the rocks because Justin Baldoni in his lawsuit against Blake Lively has named Taylor Swift, saying Blake Lively would use Taylor as a weapon against him. With a big example being a fight that Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni had when making It Ends With Us, where Blake Lively wanted a rewrite that Justin Baldoni didn't want to do. Blake Lively invited Justin Baldoni over to dinner where Taylor Swift was there, and Taylor Swift was trying to put pressure on Baldoni to change the script to the way Blake Lively wanted it.
Taylor Swift taking a step back from Blake Lively as dramatic legal battle with Justin Baldoni threatens their decade-long friendship. And it's got James Fatushka as the writer. He is in the entertainment space. He's like the top writer for their entertainment column. And he's not going to just write this unless he was told this. This is how it works in the background, you guys. You have these PR people who come behind and they tell you this is what we want planted. And the more power you have, it will be word for word, exactly what you want the public to read. So I'll tell you what they want the public to read. It says Taylor Swift is taking a step back from her friendship with Blake Lively after feeling like she was used as an intimidation tactic by the actress in a lawsuit that she never wanted to be embroiled in.
And you'll disagree with me because I know Taylor Swift better than you do. Taylor, just think back on 2023, the world seemingly was against her relationship with Matty Healy. Did that stop her? No. She rode that until he dumped her. She's a ride or die until the trust is broken.
They're all children, including you.
I am a very responsible adult child.
Another source has reinforced this view, stating Taylor has respectfully distanced herself from the situation. She is mindful of her reputation and dislikes that her name was even brought up. For someone as strategically managed as Swift, whose brand is built on authenticity and connection with her audience, being unwillingly caught up in a heated legal battle is understandably unsettling.
Her friends also think that Blake's "I'm Khaleesi and like her, I happen to have dragons" text to Justin was uncool and unnecessary because she was essentially used as an intimidation tactic. She was referred to as some kind of pet or possession. Taylor shouldn't even be involved in this at all. She was only going over to visit Blake and Ryan with the understanding that the meeting would be over. A second source said, Taylor has politely backed away from it all. She is conscious of her own image and hates that she was even mentioned. Okay, so the last part is true. She is politely backed away because she's conscious of her own image. She's extremely conscious.
And in the lawsuit, he's painting her out to be a weapon that Blake Lively used to help bully Justin Baldoni into giving her more control over his movie. And Taylor used her immense influence to help her friend intimidate him. And then Vanity Fair just wrote an article that isn't helping, titled "Taylor Swift rolls into Kansas City Chief game hours after Justin Baldoni calls her a bully." Well, she looks fabulous either way. And I was on Justin Baldoni's team, but you cannot bring in my queen Taylor Swift and think I won't defend her.
The feud centers around Blake Lively, who sued Baldoni last year, accusing him of misconduct and running a smear campaign against her. Things took a surprising turn when Baldoni hit back with a massive $400 million countersuit against both Lively and her husband, Ryan Reynolds. But what really caught fans off guard was Baldoni bringing Taylor Swift into the drama. According to court documents, he claims Lively used her friendship with Swift to pressure Reynolds during a tense argument over script changes for a rooftop scene.
Justin Baldoni is now involving Taylor Swift in his lawsuit against Blake Lively. So Justin Baldoni is suing Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and their publicists for over $400 million for all the "it ends with us" drama. Now he's name dropping Taylor Swift, Blake's bestie, in the mix. Thankfully, Taylor Swift is not being sued, but she's mentioned in his 179-page paper complaint. And he's alleging that Taylor's fame was used to pressure him during production. And it really all stems from this penthouse situation where Blake and Ryan live. Apparently there was a meeting there with all of them and Taylor Swift was actually present. And Blake ended up rewriting one of the scenes. And even after the meeting was over, Baldoni texted Blake this, saying, "I gotta put my glasses on for this one, the font is too small. Also was working on the rooftop scene today. Really love what you did. Makes it so much more fun and interesting, and I would have felt the same way without Ryan and Taylor."
This was a sinister PR move. Blake Lively then moved 11 days later to file a lawsuit. So now she has filed a lawsuit, and I don't think she ever wanted to do this. I think she genuinely wanted this to be a PR move, and she wanted to leak it to the New York Times. She thought the public would take her side with no questions asked, and instead the public is saying, no, we have a few questions here. And Justin Baldoni is going all the way to the wall on this. His lawyer is already giving interviews explaining just how nasty her team has played this. The lawyer's name is Brian Friedman. He stopped by the Megyn Kelly show, and here's some of the things that he had to say. First, he says there used to never be a sexual claim. There never was a sexual claim until she went to that civil rights office. Take a listen.
There was actually no allegation of harassment until the lawsuit was filed.
We're going to be talking all things Blake Lively and her legal complaint that she's filed against her It Ends With Us co-star Justin Baldoni. Yes, the It Ends With Us movie drama does in fact not end. What's interesting about this story to me is the Justin Baldoni of it all. He is a self-proclaimed male feminist. He's woke. He speaks out against sexual assault and sexual harassment, even toxic masculinity. And now in this legal complaint filed by Blake Lively, he's being accused of sexual harassment.
I challenge you to see if you can use the same qualities that you feel make you a man to go deeper into yourself. And will you be man enough to stand up to other men when you hear locker room talk, when you hear stories of sexual harassment, when you hear your boys talking about grabbing ass or getting her drunk? Will you actually stand up and do something so that one day we don't have to live in a world where a woman has to risk everything and come forward to say the words "me too"?
This is gonna be really awkward if these allegations are true. I will say, just for the record, I'm not a fan of either of these individuals, and something about both of them rubs me the wrong way.
Followed by an attempted PR takedown of her to cover his own ass from people finding out what he did to her. In an article titled "We Can Bury Anyone," Blake Lively heroically shared her story, and the world was on her side because it looked like she was just trying to take down a predator in Hollywood. So Justin Baldoni and his ace lawyer launched an all-cylinder fire attack to clear his name, and he started by suing the New York Times, saying that article was just published because it was paid for by Ryan Reynolds, and it was a multi-layered scheme planned out by Blake and Ryan to take down Justin. And I think it's pretty common knowledge that the mainstream media will lie on behalf of their powerful friends or anyone who pays them off to say certain things.
Baldoni claimed that Swift's unexpected presence made him feel like he needed to comply with Blake's direction for the script, implying that her influence was leveraged to sway decisions. This revelation was reportedly a turning point for Swift, who had not intended to be part of the meeting, but happened to arrive at Lively's New York penthouse while it was still ongoing.
Blake was busy trying to strong-arm and take over every part of his movie. She, out of the blue, rewrote a part of the script and then gave it to Justin for him to see if he liked it and if they can put it in the movie. But she's not the writer on the movie. And then Blake told him that he should come over to her and Ryan Reynolds' penthouse and talk about that part of the script that she wrote. But when he arrived, to his surprise, her best friend Taylor Swift was there, imploring him to use Blake's script, saying it is the single best thing she's ever read in her f***ing life. And keep in mind, this is all about career advancement for Blake Lively, and Taylor Swift has been one of the people supporting her in doing that and will be pretty ruthless to keep her friend succeeding. She even let Blake Lively direct her first project ever, which was a Taylor Swift music video.
Blake Lively did not even read the book that the movie was based on.
Correct.
And we're not talking War and Peace. And then she wanted to, ixnayed all of the wardrobe choices, because when you're making a movie about a poor woman who's suffering from domestic violence, you want her to look like she has money.
Right.
That Blake said.
That's what she did.
She looks like she has money.
Yep.
And she's dressing in florals. And then she's going on this press tour, pushing her liquor line and her hair care line, because that's what women who are trying to escape with their lives are worried about.
That's what generated her negative press and led to a series of clips of her being insensitive in one way, shape, or form with other interviewers in the past. She has no one to blame but herself.
Meanwhile, Anna Kendrick found herself in an awkward position when faced with questions about Blake during a recent press event. The two actresses, who starred together in A Simple Favor, 2018, have long been rumored to have a strained relationship. While neither has publicly addressed any tension, their interactions, or lack thereof, have fueled speculation for years.
And I'm curious which you guys think is more likely. Also, I want to revisit Kirsty's footage. You might forget, or a lot of you did see it, but Kirsty, who did the whole interview that started a lot of this mess of people discovering Blake Lively's truth, interviewed not only Blake, but Anna. So I think fitting, as we're seeing now all this new drama resurface. Just wow, the craziness of where Kirsty was through all this point. But here's the first report. Anna and Blake's rift is growing, with pair warring over their promo. So tension is apparently rising, wouldn't be surprised, and sources are claiming that Kendrick wants to distance herself from Lively amid all the legal drama.
Well, I met Blake. I worked with her husband Ryan several years ago, so I met Blake a few times through Ryan on that film.
Got it.
And thought she seemed nice, and little did I know.
Yeah. Look at the body language experts analyzing this right now. How quickly do you...
Don't touch me.
During a press tour for her latest project, Kendrick was reportedly asked about Lively multiple times. However, instead of engaging in the topic, she shut it down completely, making it clear that she had no interest in discussing her former co-star. This reaction only added to the intrigue, as many saw it as confirmation that there is indeed tension between the two.
While fans are excited for the sequel to A Simple Favor, promotion is threatened by the media circus following this legal battle. Lively is said to have done little to try to get ahead of the disaster at the box office, and sources say the Pitch Perfect star Anna Kendrick is going even to studio executives to discuss how to handle the press tour and how she can distance herself from Lively in any way. An insider said, "These movies are basically all Anna and Blake have in common. They have a working relationship but are by no means a close friendship or bond." I do believe that. Last-minute talks are underway with execs, and Anna would prefer to distance herself from Blake going forward. And honestly, that may not even be because she's got massive issues with Blake, but because I'm sure she wants nothing to do with this lawsuit. Nor does Taylor Swift, nor does anybody that's been thrown into this hurricane.
Blake Lively, after her biggest success, was just met with a lot of controversy, but now to make things worse, it's come out she feuded with Anna Kendrick. Blake Lively had one of the biggest hits of 2024 with It Ends With Us, which made $346 million on a budget of $25 million. The issue was Blake Lively didn't get along with her co-star, who's also the director of the movie, Justin Baldoni, and the two refused to do any press together. Blake Lively said that Baldoni didn't listen to any of her ideas and also got offended because he asked her weight. The only reason he asked her weight was because he has back issues and there was a scene he had to pick her up, and many who worked on set found Blake Lively was being annoying with the ideas. Now it's reported Blake Lively had another issue making the 2018 movie A Simple Favor, which was a success, making $98 million on a budget of $25 million, but she didn't get along with Anna Kendrick. It was reported they were both pretty immature, where Anna Kendrick demanded to show her cleavage in the poster to distract people from Blake Lively. And the two didn't have a good relationship on set, which is why they didn't do many interviews marketing the movie together. Now, strangely enough, after years of saying they wouldn't do a sequel together, they just announced they will be making a sequel to Simple Favor. Many are accusing Blake Lively of doing just to escape the Justin Baldoni complaints. Hey, it got fans a sequel, and with that, I'm Charles Perrault. Please subscribe to learn something.
One major factor in this ongoing saga is Blake Lively's lawsuit, which is reportedly causing ripple effects in the entertainment industry. With the legal battle looming over her, Lively has been noticeably absent from certain public events, and when she does make appearances, the media focuses often on her legal troubles rather than her work.
What do you think about her uninviting Blake Lively? Do you think that's real, or do you think that's just news, like trying to get headlines?
I think it's 1,000% real. I think she got caught, and going by Taylor Swift's history of her songs like Bad Blood with Katy Perry and all that kind of stuff, it seems like if she finds people that are crossing her, it's a donezo. And I feel like, Blake was probably doing this for years, using her as a pawn, being like, I'm friends with Taylor Swift, Taylor Swift's my best friends, and all that kind of stuff, to get her way into things or whatever it is, right? And then for the text message to come out and her calling her a dragon, like, I'm Khaleesi and these are my dragons. It's like, wait, what? Like, I'm Taylor Swift. I don't need this. Like, I don't need these small little games that you're playing.
No,
like, what? Like,
right.
No, like, I'm out. I think,
right.
And then I think she's the godchild to one of Blake's kids as well, right? I believe that she is.
Yes, she is.
I don't know what's going to happen there, but maybe she'll just take 6 months off from her and then just slowly I don't know.
There was a Super Bowl commercial with Glenn Powell and he ate the dragon. I wonder if that was a reference, like a very subliminal reference to all of this, but I could be stretching the truth. I could be stretching a little bit, who knows?
So Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds skipped the Golden Globes, even though Ryan Reynolds' new film, Deadpool and Wolverine, was nominated. And now it appears that Blake Lively may have been snubbed by the Golden Globes, which may have prompted them to not attend. So a new report online suggests that WME was trying to get Blake to be a presenter at the Golden Globes, but was declined, which was likely due to the bad press that she was getting while promoting It Ends With Us, which ultimately spearheaded the whole lawsuit against Justin Baldoni. And also noticeably absent was Wolverine himself, Hugh Jackman.
Blake Lively is facing criticism for allegedly using the It Ends With Us premiere and promotional events to promote her own brands and products. Critics claim she prioritized personal business interests over the film's focus, blurring the lines between her acting career and entrepreneurial ventures.
In a lot of these clips and evidence of Blake being cringe and being rude, Blake did those things. And Blake did use the film as a moment to launch a hair care business. Right. And promoting her alcohol brand, Betty Buzz, it's just not a good look when you're promoting also a film about domestic violence.
Well, I think too,
It was just a lot of like all about Blake, all about how this is how I styled it. This is my hair care line, my Betty Buzz, whatever. It was just a lot about her and how this was her vision. And I think people felt like that it didn't land for people.
While Blake Lively has long been considered one of Hollywood's most charming and likable actresses, her reputation is reportedly taking a hit due to her own actions. Some industry insiders claim that her involvement in the lawsuit and her response to the situation have contributed to the negative press surrounding her. Instead of addressing the controversy head-on, Lively has reportedly been avoiding questions and limiting her public engagements, which has only fueled speculation.
And then there are other moments to go like, am I the in the room? Like, what is happening here? I would show up on a set. I knew that they just wanted me to show up and look cute and stand on a little pink sticker where I'm supposed to go and say what I'm supposed to say. But I also knew that like that wasn't fulfilling for me, that I wanted to be a part of the storytelling, that I wanted to be a part of the narrative, whether that be in the writing, in the costume design, in creating the character. And sometimes I had directors or producers or writers who would welcome that and invite that once they saw that I was able to offer that. And sometimes I would have people who really resented that because they were like, we just hired you to be an actor. Yet when I went in the meetings, I would just seem like I'm just there to be the actor and ready to get the gig. I wouldn't reveal that I actually need to have authorship in order to feel fulfilled.
Critics also question why, if Blake was experiencing an unprofessional environment during filming, she didn't report it to her agent or union at the time. Many argue that taking formal action earlier could have addressed the issue before it escalated into a legal battle.
She said, I have clients that have felt uncomfortable with their directors before, that haven't liked their directors, and have felt like it's getting a little weird. All she needed to do was make one call to her agent or one call to the union rep and say, listen, I have a director that's just pushing boundaries a bit. He's making me feel uncomfortable. And that's it. Listen, that's all it would have taken.
But weren't we past that? Because there was that period of time at the beginning where there was the list of demands that she said she would not accept any more of.
The 17-point list of demands that came in the middle of production, yes.
Right. So he said, okay, great, I won't do those things anymore. And there were no more problems since then. So why then sue him after the fact? He agreed to not do it. He didn't do it.
And no, none of it makes sense.
An insider reveals that Colleen Hoover, who initially supported Blake Lively, now admits she never actually read the novel before getting involved in the film. This revelation has sparked criticism, as many assumed Hoover's backing was based on a deep understanding of the story. Fans are now questioning her role and credibility in the project.
That is the author of It Ends With Us, who text messages, emails, interviews, all of the proof that is out there in the public shows us that she positively adored Justin Baldoni. She asked him herself. Initially, he was just getting involved with this project because of the book, but then she asked him herself to play Ryle in the movie. And things were great until Blake Lively, right? We actually had, and I think we're still trying to pull it in, this old clip of her discussing how amazing Justin Baldoni was, because he didn't just want to take on this book project, but it was important for him to understand the readers and the fans of the book, what it was that they adored about these characters.
Oh boy. Perez Hilton here, and if you're not familiar with her, she is Colleen Hoover, the author whose novel Justin Baldoni found, optioned, and turned into the movie co-starring Ryan Reynolds' wife and Taylor Swift's bestie, Gossip Girl alum and B-list actress Blake Lively. He alleges in his lawsuit against what many are calling Amber Heard 2.0 that she never even read the novel that Colleen Hoover wrote. And he's got texts to prove it. And this novel means a lot to many people because it deals with a very sensitive subject matter.
What's your take on fans exposing Taylor Swift's silence and Anna Kendrick's refusal to entertain Blake Lively's questions? Share your thoughts in the comments below.